This is a very easy audience. Thank you. The students participated in the Wonder League Robotics Competition, an annual competition that treats robotics and programming like a team sport. The students worked in teams of 3 or 4, meeting each week at a team member's home to participate in the virtual sessions. The team members worked together on various STEM-inspired challenges meant to push their programming and problem-solving skills to the limit. Along with their coding work, students also used a variety of materials to create models and engineer solutions. Their creativity and innovation truly shined. Thanks to their hardworking collaboration and endless support from parents, our teams proudly advanced to the invitational round of the competition. So with that, let me get to those names. Wonder League, and part of the joy of this is also announcing the names of the teams, which are certainly creative. First, from Glen Head, Team Chicken Nuggets. So let me say all 4 of the names, then those 4 students can come down, and then we'll repeat that process with each of the teams. The 4 students are Lucas Coletti, Rohan Chopra, hang on, Marcus Legumazan, Francesco Romito. Come on down. Greeting them at the end of the aisle is their principal, Dr. Rufa. Thank you very much for being here, Dr. Rufa. Whoa, 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 you missed one. Is Dr. Rufa? I'm counting on you, all right? Let's get the next team ready. You can come on down as... What is it? Could the 2 teachers come down as well? I know you're helping to organize up there, but if you could come down. Mr. Bridgewood and Ms. Kay, thank you. Great idea, Dr. Z. The next team, Team Tom and Jerry. Mila Ham, Thomas Demisa, Lucas Edelstein, and Christian Sai. Oh, wait 1 minute. Okay. Next, Team Blow Pop Squad. I love these names. Representing them are Emiliano Caminero, Andreas Michael, James Kudaskelos, and Teddy Kazajansky. Congratulations, gentlemen. From Glenwood Landing, Team Celery with an S, Celery. Blake Bowen, Mason Bowen, and Despina Tagaris. Thank you, guys. From Seacliff, Team Super Duper Coding Gods. Alec Rowe, Nate Woodrow Hogan, and Simon Zelkind. No? Okay. We will get them their certificates. Next, also from Seacliff, the Zoom Zoom Wonders. Sloan Bonvincino, Gwaine Bear, and Janaki Matani Thrun. Okay. Excellent. Joined by the principal of Seacliff School, Ms. Wojcik. And one more team from Seacliff. This is the team dash. It's the symbol dash. And on my instructions, I have pronounced dash. So that's what it says on the certificate.
I just wanted to make sure.
I got it right. Yes. That was what I knew I'd pronounced correctly. And the members are Nate Horstman, Oliver Koo, and Sebastian Atlas. Thank you. Staying in the technology realm, next we'd like to honor our first LEGO Robotics. This year's competition team, under the unwavering guidance of advisors Kristen Carbone and Dan Maz, competed in a regional competition for which the team created a robot and designed programs to accomplish missions. The goal of this year's project was to improve the transportation of goods throughout our country. Their teamwork shined as they put their minds together to overcome the difficult task of a delivery project. Students displayed their amazing, unique personalities as a unified team in their project presentation. In the end, the team not only shortened delivery times, but they ensured packages were delivered more securely to prevent theft. They came together and presented as one, which truly impressed the judges. Team Lego My Ego earned 4th place out of 153 teams for their innovative project, and this was only their first year competing. Congratulations. Representing Team Lego My Ego, let me finish all the names and then we'll ask the team members to come down. Those team members, there's about 8 of them, are Joseph Melli, Jack Ricci, John Hosey Rao, Neo Iannelli, Aiden Fellows, Kyle Wong, Christian Perez, and Ruby Brock Terkashanad, Javand. Thanks. Thank you. First, robotics. The North Shore High School robotics team, Robo Gym Robotics, competed in 3 regional competitions with the incredible support of Stephen Peroni and Ryan Bridgewood. They ran through obstacles in their first competition, re-engineering multiple systems, and made it to the semifinals in their second competition. Then, after more engineering, the team made their way to regional finalists at the New York City regional event out of 50 teams. The hard work, perseverance, problem-solving skills, and authentic opportunity provided by North Shore Schools made it impossible for them to flex their mind. Again, a very large team. Please allow me to read all the names, and then we'll ask everyone to come down, and we will sort through the many certificates that we have. The team is made up of Brandon Borum, Brian Matthews, John Pischatowski, Matthew Maraglia, Michael Mora, Ziv Schusterman, Alexander Bischoff, Ethan Fitchell, Faith Glazarev, Gina Wu, Alcidair Siu, Andrew Votes, Gail Schusterman, Gus Vasilakis, Rico Malako, Joshua Song, Patrick Martin, Sophia Glasarev, Aaron Flores, Eli Wesley Jones, Janessa Reyes, Liana Sipersad, Naveen Nevarowski, Paul Panagos, Rishi Malhorta, Seamus Hughes, William Wah, Bowen Jin, Nicholas Ryder, and Sienna Shu. Come on down if you're here. Come on over here. Come on all the way over. Great job, Next, the AMC Mathlete competition. The American Mathematics Competitions is an examination that builds problem-solving skills and mathematical knowledge in middle and high school students. These students received recognition within the middle school level competition for their high achievement. Isabella Sun was first place overall. Luna Espinoza and Grady Butler tied for second place, and Miriam Zelkind earned third place. We had 45 students at the middle school take the exam this year, which is the most we've ever had. They all did well, and we are working on preparing for next year's AMC competition. Could any of those 4 students who are here, Isabella, Luna, Miriam, and Grady, come on down? Come on over here. Good job. The Long Island Math Fair. In preparation for the Long Island Math Fair, students conduct extensive research on an advanced mathematical topic. Participants prepare a paper and presentation materials and defend their research before a panel of judges who are typically teachers, college professionals, or professionals in math-related fields. The Long Island Math Fair includes 2 rounds of competitions. Winners from the first round advance to the second round, where they competed for gold, silver, or bronze medals. And we had winners in each of those categories. First, in the bronze medal competition, category. Bryn Polinsky, Ashley Holden, Nicholas Maglino, Harry Levin, and Angelica Frangopoulos. Come on down. Yeah. Having achieved silver medal, Sophia Efstahiadis, Seamus Hughes, Rishi Malhorta, Carolyn Winchester, Peter Schau, Sabrina Chu, Noah Lee, Madeline Bush, and Olivia Lamond. Please come down. Congratulations. And we have 3 gold medal awards. They go to Ruby Brock Takurashandri, Mahaya Veera, and Jessica Leonard. Please come down. Some individual awards. Kids Safe Online Poster Contest. Megan Schaefer entered the New York State Kids Online 21-22 Poster Contest. Her dynamic composition focused on internet privacy and deception. Out of over 600 participants, Megan's artwork was one of the 12 selected winners. Afterward, the New York State winners were entered in the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center National Poster Contest. Out of thousands of entries, just 13 were chosen as national winners, and Megan's entry was one of them. Megan's state and national wins are a testament to her creativity, hard work, and commitment to the arts. Megan, please come down. Long Island's Best Young Artist from the Heckscher Museum. Each year, high school students from all over high school, Long Island, all over Long Island, compete to have their work hung in a juried exhibition at the Heckscher Museum museum titled Long Island's Best. This year, Hana Ikawa was among the incredibly talented students to be chosen for this prestigious honor. And on your way out tonight, I happen to see it, you can see Hana's work right outside in one of the art galleries right here in our hallway. Hana, please come down and accept this award. All County Art. All County Art Exhibition features the work of K through 12 art students in Nassau County who have demonstrated excellence in a wide variety of two-dimensional visual art forms, including drawing, painting, printmaking, computer graphics, and photography. This year, 24 North Shore student artists were represented in this virtual exhibition, and Abigail Schwab was our art supervisor. Abigail Schwab, thank you, was our Art Supervisors Association Scholarship recipient. Congratulations. We also have the following winners, and we'll ask everyone to come down. Christian Henley, Jacqueline Monty, Victoria Monty, Heather Lennon, Mackenzie Hannon, Tikdim Heffernan, Claire Tao, Sabrina Chu, Sophia Martin, Jack Arena, Megan Sue, Nicole Tom, Morgan O'Hare, Theodora Tipton, Padmini Matani Thrun, Abigail Schwab, Emma Murtha, Hana Ikawa, Agustina He, Kristen Xie, Yarabella Yang, Giada Satino, Lottie Johnson, and Violet Kanzenkaufer. And we're going to enlist my good friends, Ms. Wojcik and Dr. Roof, if we could give you the certificates and everyone can go over in that corner and we'll hand them out to you. They will know almost all of your names, I'm certain. Great job. Thank you. Thank you for being here again. They've got the certificate right over there. Thank you. Congratulations. The Nassau Reading Council's Young Authors Contest. Congratulations to the following middle school students who we will invite down in just a minute. Savannah Plosky, Ava Verasano, Lucia Cogno, and Seacliff student Michael Llewellyn, and their teachers, Noel Beccarino and Kathy Yu at the middle school. And Melissa Levy Wiener at Seacliff. For winning the Nassau Reading Council's Young Authors Contest. The personal narrative is a unique genre, one that not only hails writers' individual voices and perspectives, but also celebrates readers' universal experiences and desires. These students' piece showcases their skill at utilizing literary strategies to convey meaning, their work ethic in strategically coordinating story elements, their belief in the value of self-expression through language, and their generosity for inviting others to share their innermost insights. Congratulations, Savannah, Ava, and Lucia. We are proud of your efforts and of your talent for crafting words that resonate so clearly with those who hear them. And the person who was just up here, thank you to Deborah Small, Director of Elementary Humanities. Thank you very much, Deborah, for being here. The National Poetry Quarterly's Anthology. This award acknowledges the publication of Samantha Lockwood's poem, Handle with Care, in Inside of Me, the National Poetry Quarterly's Anthology. Verse is a distinct abode, and those who dwell in it are bound by its idiosyncrasies. As a poet, Sammy is a pledged precisionist. She is committed by form and brevity to a fastidious application of diction. She is equally propelled by syntax, skilled at the art of arrangement and rhythm to dispatch her ideas. Indeed, Sammy's piece showcases her bravery and vulnerability, her belief in the value of sharing our human triumphs and tragedies, and her conviction about the power of healing through self-expression. Congratulations, Sammy, on contributing so skillfully to such a rich student archive. Samantha Lockwood, please come down. And joining us a moment ago is Julie Ritter, our secondary director of English, who also, I think, penned that incredibly articulate description of the award that we just presented. That was a great one. Thank you. Next, the North Shore High School Writing Fellows. Again, under the tutelage of secondary ELA director Julie Ritter and North Shore High School Writing Center teachers Dr. Caitlin Kermser, Donna Rice, and Gabriela Fernandez. The Writing Center Fellowship is a multifaceted position. Our 12th grade fellows possess not only exemplary academic ability, but also a profound commitment to elevating others. The fellows create comfortable spaces for their tutees, inviting students to collaborate in one-on-one discussions about their own writing process. By harnessing their skills to cultivate the talents of their peers, the fellows exemplify our vision of school as a community of learners, celebrating the strengths of the students they encounter and inspiring both their classmates' sense of security and their ability to craft their own writing evolution. This year, the Writing Center responded to our students' needs in numerous ways, including conducting over 300 individual tutoring sessions. The writing process is an invaluable tool for learning. It embodies that vital interaction with information that allows students to access, assess, and express ideas. Thank you, fellows, for empowering your classmates to use writing with increasing confidence and ability. Thank you for helping to give our students a voice. I'm going to say all of the names, and then we will ask all of our writing fellows to come down. Those fellows are Julia Capitelli, Crystal Coleman, Mia Crocco, Catherine DeTrano, Alexandra Eder, Sydney Gettleman, Ashna Gibbons, Alana Golden, Evie McCreary, Julia McClellan, Michael Ricardo, Erin Schoenhofen, Abigail Schwab, and Christina Vasilakis. Ms. Ritter has the certificate over there. Before I move on to the very last set of awards, we had 138 students honored tonight, and I want to make sure that anyone who's invited, that I did not miss one of these many pieces of paper. Is there anyone who was invited whose name was not called? That would be awful to have happen. Great. thought we had them, but I wanted to make sure. We have one more group that we'd like to honor tonight, and it's not students, it's an adult group. At the suggestion of the Board of Education, we've chosen to honor an adult organization here in the community, which is absolutely unique, and that is North Shore CASA. It's easy to know what they do. Just take a look at their website, and they cite several goals, each of them noble. A community coalition with active participation, armed with facts and sharing a common voice, which can fundamentally change the outcomes for our youth. A community dedicated to reducing youth substance use and abuse and supporting the wellness of all of our kids. And having a vision for our community in which our residents, and particularly our youth, make healthy choices and avoid misusing or abusing drugs and alcohol. We honor the Board of Directors tonight for their tireless efforts to educate and to keep our children safe. This year, they have organized and run numerous events that have been very well received and have accomplished something that no other community organization can begin to claim. It is very likely that they have saved lives. We will never know if that is true, but I believe it to be so. Tonight, we honor the Board of Directors of CASA, and they are Allison Camardella, Kevin McGilloway, Tom Berger, Tanaz Baluch, Dan McDermott, Bruce Kennedy, Alexa Traeger, Barbara Ann Panetta, and Stephanie Papiro. Please come down. There's three individuals I'd like to thank before we're done with all of the awards. First, taking all of our pictures, a woman whose artwork I'm certain you have on your refrigerator at home. Thank you very much to Shelley Newman. Thank you. And organizing tonight, including completing 138 certificates, my assistant, the district clerk, Betty Campy. Who was also assisted by another person in the central office, Marissa Holden. We thank them all. We'll move on with the meeting now, but we recognize that students may have homework. And if you do, and if you feel that obligation to go home and do that homework, we understand. You don't have to go, but we understand. We'll take a minute.
All right, we will continue with our meeting. That was a great ceremony recognizing a fraction of the accomplishments of our students. One of the things that struck me the most was when two of the young women who came up to accept their award looked at me and said, "That guy's our softball coach," which was pretty cool. But I think that it's also pretty cool, the different hats that our kids wear, that they're winning these awards for writing, for art, they're playing sports, they're participating in all these events. I know of at least two students who said to me, "I would have loved to be here tonight to accept my award, but I had to go watch the lacrosse game tonight over Manhasset." So our students are involved in many different things and accomplishing so much. Tonight was a great moment of recognition. So thank you to the administration for making sure we focused on that. I've been out giving out awards. I don't have any updates. We'll work on getting an update for those who are here. But for now, I will ask for a motion on item 4, which is the approval of our minutes from May 5th of 2022. Is there a motion? Thank you. And I heard a second as well. Any questions or comments? This is for both the regular meeting and the audit committee meeting. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Action 5, which is approval of the external audit corrective action plan. Is there a motion? And I heard a second as well. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Now this is going to be item 6, which is a hearing on the proposed use of the repair reserve fund expenditure. So I'd like a motion to open the hearing. Is there a motion? And I heard a second from Trustee Galati. And at this point, we have a public hearing. If anyone would like to come speak about the use of the reserve fund, we have the microphone available. Pardon me? Do you want to have it started? Okay. Okay, I think we've given it sufficient time. If anyone has any questions now, and with that, I will close the hearing and move on to action item 7, which is an action to approve the expenditure of funds from the repair reserve in the amount of $580,000 for HVAC repairs that are needed by the district. So is there a motion on that? Thank you, Trustee Colasioba and Trustee Mosca. Any questions on the action? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Action item 8, which is the approval of budget transfers. Is there a motion? Thank you, Rich. As a second? Thank you, Maria. Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We now move on to action item 9, which is the acceptance of the canvass statement and election results from the May 17th district vote. Is there a motion? And a second? Thank you. Any comments, questions, discussion? The only comment is, Betty, it was a very well-run election, as usual. We thank the district clerk and your entire team. I know the polls are open from 7 to 10, but you didn't walk in at 6:59. You didn't walk out at 10:01. And so we really appreciate your effort. Thank you very much for all the efforts in the weeks before. Thank you. Okay, and if there's no other discussion.
Dave,
Yeah, please.
I just wanted to say, thank you to those who ran. Congratulations to those who won and to the community for passing our budget.
Yeah, I think one of the things that stood out in this election was the turnout was really, really big. Almost 4,000 voters, and that was anew for a non-mail-in election. And I think everyone knows the election process is not always the most easy for the community or for those running and for those really anyone here. But it is democracy, and to have that many people come and register their opinion about the direction of this district is laudable. And so I appreciate that as well. And with that, I will ask for we'll call the vote on approval of the canvassing. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. We will now move on to item 10, which is the report from our SGO reps. Take it away, Katie and Noah.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone. We would like to start our report today with what we think will be a very popular spring sports recap. As always, our Vikings have really excelled this past spring season. As was mentioned, our girls lacrosse team is in the midst of a particularly excellent season. They're competing against Manhasset tonight in their very first playoff game at Adelphi. We're still all anxiously awaiting the results, so if anyone has an update, feel free to share. But whatever happens, we're all really proud of how far they've come. Both the girls and boys golf teams are also competing in counties this week. The men's track team placed 6th in the county with a large number of athletes on the team earning all county honors. But of course, I'm most proud to share that the girls spring track team were conference division and county champions this season. And the North Shore track program has been an incredibly special part of my own personal time at North Shore. It's definitely one of my hardest goodbyes, but it was very special to end on such a high note.
Yes, and I would also like to say that the men's golf program has also been really special to me as well. So I just would like to thank everybody again. As we prepare to move on next year, we are helping begin the transition for the 8th graders to cross the street. This week, the middle school students came to the high school where they took tours with peer leaders, listened to a presentation and a peer leader student panel, and had the opportunity to attend a club fair organized by Dr. Mabrook. So we thank everybody for their efforts to really make this as a smooth transition as possible for the 8th graders.
And this past week, the junior prom took place at the Crescent Beach Club. From what I've heard, it was a fantastic event. The junior class advisors and student government officers did an amazing job, as always, planning that event. And of course, we'd like to thank the PTO, the administration, and everyone else involved for helping to make that event as special as it was for the juniors.
And there are also a lot of exciting events coming up in the next few weeks. Sports Night will be taking place on June 9th, and of course, we are hoping for a senior victory. But all grades are hard work preparing for this event. Moving Up Day is also around the corner, and because of COVID, this is the first traditional Moving Up Day since 2019. The SGO will be sponsoring the food for the event, and the yearbooks will be handed out that day, so we are all very excited for the big reveal of what the front cover of the yearbook will be. It's always a very exciting time. Thank you all and have a great night.
Thank you both. Thank you. Great job. And with that, we will turn it over to Dr. Dolan, our interim superintendent, for a report.
Thank you very much, Dave. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of the Board of Education. This is a particularly exciting night, given the many deserving students and adults that we were able to honor. That took a little bit of time, but it's always important and affirming to do so. Still, I know it's late, and I will try to be brief. It is also important tonight that I thank the community for the support they have demonstrated by way of last week's approval of our budget. What was the superintendent's proposed budget became the Board of Education budget, and now, because of your approval, is the community and district's budget. Action item 9 on tonight's agenda formalized the last step of this process, and I congratulate the community for establishing this foundation upon which we can continue to build. Of course, there is still one budgetary consideration here in North Shore that we are confronting, and that is LIPA. The agreement between LIPA and Nassau County has not, as of today, yet been approved by the courts. There is still the possibility of a challenge, and until that is resolved and the courts affirm the decision, there is no change in any aspect of our budget. Should the deal be approved, there will be public and transparent conversation about the implications of those changes. The shift of $2.7 million in tax levy from LIPA to Class 1 homeowners is one that we would hope to partially blunt, and preliminary conversations on how to do so have already begun. Those will be continued in public when a determination is made, and will need to be balanced against modifying our plan in such a way as to not impact next year's tax cap calculation. That is a unique problem we confront, and I offer the assurance again that when the time comes, it will be discussed publicly. Next week, we will conduct committee interviews for the middle school principal position again. We do so as we are in the search for the very best candidate we can find for that important position, and we want all parties to celebrate that selection. Our new target date for that person to begin is August 1st, and that is more than achievable. More information to follow. I'm happy to share that we now count 155 members of our incoming kindergarten class, the class of 2035. I was pleased to meet many of them and read to them last week. That was a treat that I enjoyed, and I hope that some of them did as well. Each child also received a book that night as a gift from the Federation, our Teachers Association, and I'm glad that our new students are given this chance to begin their own libraries. In sports news, congratulations to our women's lacrosse program as they take part in a playoff game at Adelphi tonight, taking on Manhasset. And then I have the word score, but I don't have one yet. And if any, again, I'll repeat what others have said. If one appears, just let us know how much we won by. Also, I'd like to acknowledge the Optimist. Also, I'd like to acknowledge the 10 conference championship teams we supported this year and let you know, as you just heard, that another one has now emerged as county champions, and that is our women's track and field team. Coached by Neil Levy, these perennial champions were crowned on Monday. I met with Mr. Levy yesterday, and we are asking these young athletes and their parents what they believe to be the best way to publicly honor them, and we shall do so before the year is over. For now, hearty congratulations to these athletes. You make us proud. Also in sports, congratulations to some of our youngest athletes, the 4th grade boys lacrosse team that won the Long Island Championship this past weekend. Thanks to the volunteer coaches that helped to make this happen, and it certainly bodes well for our program. I do have one other item associated with athletics, and I'd like to insert it here. I am still hearing concerns about the condition of our turf field, and inarguably it will need to be replaced soon, certainly in the next couple of years. But I'm saying again that it is safe now, and if it were not, it would be my obligation to recommend that it be closed down, both for the sake of student safety and district liability. To test that determination on my part, I spoke to our athletic director, Don Lang, and collected the following data. After reviewing all reports for the entire year there's not been one accident report filed related to poor field conditions. There have been no other schools that have made any complaints or even a negative remark about our playing field. There have been no physical education incidents attributed to our field, and our trainer is certain that our turf field has not caused any injuries and it is not in any way not safe for kids to practice, train, and play on. There have been no complaints filed, and we believe that the turf is safe to play on, and we will continue to do so. Again, that does not mitigate the fact that it will have to be replaced eventually, and I know there's been some conversations about that already, but I did want to assure the community that that concern has been looked into. In personnel tonight, there are two very important recommendations that I will be making to the board, and only after the board has considered them, I will ask for a brief opportunity to note them and make some introductions. So I will be speaking again later on. Finally tonight, I feel obligated to acknowledge the horrendous and far too familiar incident that took place at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. It is not my place to make any political statement here, and I will not, but it is important to acknowledge what took place because to not do so normalizes it. We must not ignore what occurred, lest our children and staff and students think that we accept it. Our kids, our staff, and our teachers need to hear us say that we can do better and that we hold their safety as our highest priority. We do many things as a district to ensure that, and there have been some excellent follow-up conversations, even in the last 48 hours, that enhance those measures. To parents, your conversation with your kids need to be age-appropriate and as assuring as you can reasonably be. If parents need our help with those discussions, we have many resources, and we've already put some of them online. If you need others, please let us know. And parents, we are here for you too, and if you need the school's help, let us know. We need to be there for each other. And the fact is that if we consistently and compassionately do that, we would probably be on our way to a better situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dolan. With that, we will move on to comments from the public. If anyone from the public would like to share their thoughts about the district, please step up to the podium, press the button, say your name and town of residence, and we'd love to hear from you. Sorry, just make sure the light is on.
Hello?
That's good.
Okay. Suzanne Cohen from Seacliff. Okay. Hi, my name is Suzanne Cohen, and I'm one of the co-founders of the North Shore Parent Action Coalition. Although we're unaffiliated with the district, NSPAC was formed 1 year ago in response to a number of school incidents in which children were being bullied because of their ethnicity, culture, the way they looked, or how they identified. Every child has a right to a safe and respectful learning environment, free from fear. Our mission at NSPAC is to ensure that North Shore schools guarantee our children that right. Moreover, we believe that all students deserve to graduate prepared to live, work, and thrive in a diverse world. In order to achieve our objectives, we raise awareness of incidents of bias, disrespect, and misunderstanding within our school communities, advocate for consistent policies, clear communication, and comprehensive strategies that are necessary to improve the learning environment in our schools, and strive to create a supportive community beyond school walls where all students and families are welcomed. According to the CDC, about 20% of kids ages 12 to 18 experience bullying, and most of that bullying takes place in school. We all know bullying starts much younger than age 12, and I witnessed it even in my daughter's kindergarten class 2 years ago. Also, studies have shown an association between being bullied and suicidal ideation. I'm sure you'll agree when I say we're all shaken by the tragic school shooting in Texas this week. According to an article in the Washington Post, the shooter, Salvador Ramos, was repeatedly bullied in school for his stutter and lisp. A former classmate of his said, "He wasn't very much of a social person after being bullied for the stutter. I think he just didn't feel comfortable anymore at school." None of us may ever know the true motives behind Ramos's actions, and cannot begin to understand what the victims' families are going through. But I implore all of us to take this moment to reflect on how and why an accepting school environment that pushes back on hate and values and teaches empathy is so critical to the health of our kids, our community, and society at large. The CDC also says the approaches that show the most promise in stopping bullying are ones that involve the entire school community, not just students and teachers, but also families, administrators, and support staff, such as bus drivers, nurses, cafeteria, and front office personnel. Programs like No Place for Hate help create more empathy and understanding among students and staff. I applaud our district for selecting a program with a 20-year track record, knowing that we are just one of over 1,600 schools participating and that over 100,000 educators have found this program beneficial. I and my fellow NSPAC members urge our district to continue moving in the direction of creating a safe environment where all kids can focus on who they are becoming, be accepted, and feel proud of who they are. Thank you.
Thank you. Other folks who'd like to share their thoughts in public comment? I shan't beg. So with that, I'm going to move on and close public comment. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Suzanne. We will move on to action 14, which are a series of personnel items, A through O. Can I ask for a motion on personnel A through O? In a second. Thank you. Any comments or questions? Okay, we will. I will call the vote, and then we'll pause for a few words. All in favor of 14A through O, please say aye. Aye. And yep. And is there any abstentions? One abstention, and that's everyone. That's all six. Okay. So with that, it is approved, and I would go, but I think that Doctors Dolan and Zublionis have some things they're champing at the bit to say. So, gentlemen.
Indeed. The board has just approved my recommendation for the appointment of two critical members of our team. Two very important members of our team, our new assistant superintendent for business and our interim assistant superintendent for curriculum. Two people who I've been given the opportunity to get to know, in one case for the year and in one case for the last couple of weeks. I would normally take a few minutes now and introduce them to you, but I think it more important that the captain of the team do so. And I've asked Dr. Zublionis to do so, as I think this will be a really important, significant, and highly symbolic indication of the leadership team that will be leading the North Shore School District into the future. Dr. Z?
Thank you, Dr. Dolan and President Lemar and trustees. I'm so very excited to introduce two individuals who will join our North Shore Central Office team to help lead the financial and instructional divisions of our district and become members of our North Shore family. And when we're searching for folks to join our team, be it faculty members, administrators, or anyone, we always ask the question, are they North Shore? And these two individuals are very North Shore. Not only are they highly qualified for their posts, but they are people of extremely high character and unique vision who will be dedicated to the mission of this place, and most importantly, its people. They both also know the North Shore schools very well and have had a lot of experience here and will complement each other and me as we move forward into this new chapter of our Viking journey together as one community. First, it is with great pride that I announce that Dr. Carol Ann Smythe will serve as our interim assistant superintendent for instruction for the 2022-23 school year. Carol's dedication to the students of North Shore for the past 15 years has been extraordinary. Carol has worked in every school building in the district and knows every faculty member on a first name basis. She began her career here as the K through 12 director of science and then became the director of elementary mathematics, science, and STEAM. She has built a world-class mathematics program in a collaborative manner, and her efforts have led directly to the success and growth of our students. And as I said earlier on the phone to her today, what she has done with mathematics education is truly tremendous, innovative. We've had professional learning from across the world here, and she continues to innovate and continuously improve. She's the architect of what many also call the best elementary STEAM program on Long Island. Moreover, the tremendous knowledge, experience, and innovation that she brings to our schools every day is accompanied by a unique sense of humility, empathy, and compassion. As educators, we define smart in diverse ways. I tend to not love to use that word because it can be reductive and exclusive, but acknowledging that it means many different things, I can say without hesitation that Carol Ann is one of the smartest individuals I've ever met in my life, and not only because she holds 2 doctoral degrees. She is an innovative problem solver who is integral to the work of our district. Carol will take our teaching and learning efforts to the next level in conjunction with our superb leadership team. Welcome, Carol, to your new role. And I want to thank Dr. Dolan, President Lemore, and the board for your support of Carol and for the building of this new cabinet, the central office team. Secondly, I'm also excited to announce that Mr. James Pappas will fill the role of the Assistant Superintendent for Business. James, or as he's commonly known at North Shore, Jamie, currently serves as the Assistant Superintendent for Business in the Freeport Public Schools. Jamie has worked as our internal and claims auditor for 15 years and has worked in public accounting for over 30 years. He knows the people of North Shore and our culture very, very well, and he brings a tremendous expertise in accounting and auditing that will help guide our ship, our Viking ship, and complement Carol and me in really specific and highly skilled ways. So, Jamie, welcome aboard as well to the Viking ship. And I have one little gift. It'll be one of many, but just for tonight, a clipboard with an assignment. It's not a real assignment to start yet, but our mission statement as we work together and have focus on what really matters here. And the preface that our mission is to nurture and enrich our students' natural delight in learning and in the powers of mind and body, which I look forward to starting that work with you very shortly. And also a copy of the book, which Carol has seen before, called The Innovator's Mindset, because as we work through these next few years, we'll be relying upon our Viking innovation to chart new territory and solve problems, and I'm very confident that we'll be able to do so. The book is also in North Shore colors. I just realized that when I was looking at it, so I'm just going to hand that to you now and shake your hands.
Chris, thank you so much. Yeah, great words. And just from where I'm sitting, you know, the symbols of these things matter. And I just think about where we all sit on this table and the idea that that's going to be the team. That's our central office team. And that you'll be sitting up here and that Jamie and Carol Ann will be sitting down there. And we're going to be the ones who are going to, you know, keep this district on track and keep it moving. We certainly have big challenges ahead. We've all been talking about that. But it's exciting to know that we have folks who care so much. I think I talked about this a lot, but understanding the connection between what you do in finance or even what you do in curriculum and the actual students that it affects is what makes a good central office administrator a great central office administrator. And I think with these two, it's already baked in, and so I'm really excited. And obviously, Chris, for the record, you exude it in the way that you speak about these things, in your approach to these new central office folks. You're giving assignments. It's really impressive. Other than the fact that I don't have any doctoral degrees. Someone's got two. All right. I'm just a mister. Okay. We will now move on to action item 15, which is a resolution to change the reorganizational meeting date. And it will become Friday, July 1 at 1 p.m. So we're going to kick off that holiday weekend right. I ask for a motion on that change the date. I hear a motion in a second. And any questions or comments? No, I think the board, I certainly appreciate the board's flexibility. I know this was tough on a couple people's schedules, and this is going to be a nice way to start off the month, especially for you, Dr. Dolan. You'll be you're welcome as a guest. All in favor of this new date? Aye. Thank you. Action 16, the approval of an MOA between the United Public Service Employees Union for the part-time cleaners unit. Is there a motion? Thank you. In a second. Any comments or questions on this agreement? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Action 17, which is the adoption of policy 1400. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second, I heard. Questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Action 18, which is a resolution to pursue litigation regarding bisected properties. Is there a motion? Thank you. And a second? Thank you. Comments, discussion? All in favor of authorizing this pursuit? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Action 19, the resolution to participate in a cooperative bid. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second, I heard as well. Comments, discussion? All in favor? Aye. Action 20, which is the approval of 4 different contracts. Is there a motion on 20, A, B, C, and D? Thank you, Rich.
Second.
Thank you, Andrea. Comments, questions? All in favor? Aye. Action 21, which is the approval of 3 health services contracts at Westbury, Plainview, and Manhasset. Is there a motion? Thank you. Comments, questions? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. And action 22, the approval of special education services IEPs. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Questions, discussion? All in favor? Aye. And we'll now move on to old business. Any trustees have any old business tonight? Dr. McCary?
You know what? I think I'm just a singular doctor here.
Okay.
Underachiever. Mine's actually new business.
Okay. Dr. Dolan. Yes.
It's a couple of items of old business. First, the sign. I know we've talked a lot about the sign that will go out in front of the high school, and we're zeroing in on closure on this one. Tonight, the board approved a transfer of funds such that we have enough to do the sign, a simple sign without a lot of other bells and whistles. It will be a full color sign. Size still to be determined. We need to get some specs on that. But what Olivia and I propose to do is to put a mock-up of the sign out there of the appropriate size so that people have a sense of what it is that we're talking about. We've come a long way on this one. We're almost there. It would be our hope to have a resolution on the agenda on June the 9th that will move forward with the purchase and hopefully get that done. I know it's been a year-long conversation on that one, but we're zeroing in on closure, and there was a big step tonight in terms of the funding.
Just in terms of clarification for those who are unfamiliar with this, it is an electronic sign.
It's an electronic sign that will be used to advertise events, that will be used to alert the community when something's going on at the school. It can also be used for other generic messages. Don't text and drive. Not a bad one to put up there as a placeholder. I believe usually they have time and temperature when nothing else is up there, and you can also rotate through signs. Because of the experience I've had in another district, we're also zeroing in on who will be programming the sign, which can sometimes be a thorny issue. Someone has to assume responsibility for it. It's done off a keypad, usually remotely, but we need to identify that person, train them and then make sure that it gets changed. Nothing is worse than we've all seen them. Nothing worse than a sign that advertises something that took place 2 weeks ago. We don't want that to happen.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Dolan. It's no secret to those who watch the board that I'm very glad this is moving forward.
Yep.
It's a great way to interact with the community and show folks who aren't directly in our schools all the things that are going on, the sporting events, the plays, the events, the just everything to connect the school and the community, because of course we are one community. Any other old business out there?
Yes, believe it or not, one other item, and that relates to the gym floor. We've begun some conversations in the construction steering committee on a couple of options that are available to us for the gym floor. We could, like many other projects, bid the whole thing and look for a contractor to do it. Or there's another mechanism where we could rely upon a BOCES or a state bid. And in fact, John Hall made some real progress today with somebody looking at it under the BOCES bid. And they've looked at it and they indicated to us that they can have it done on the BOCES bid by the end of August. We'd prefer middle of August because of practices that take place in mid-August, but Don Lang has already looked at the schedule, and we could schedule those practices in the middle school gym and then have it ready to go for the opening of school for phys ed classes and competitions. It's my recommendation that we do proceed with that. It will save us some considerable time. These are bids that are competitive. That is, we're not going to be paying without other people having done the bid for us. And because we already have a relationship with BOCES, we feel that it's a great way to expedite the project, one that frankly needs to get done. We don't want to open the school year without that gym floor being done, and this will give us the best possibility to do that. And with contractors who worked in schools before and who John has a great deal of trust in. So we'd like to move forward with that, and I hope that the board will allow us to do so.
And that's the same mechanism we use for the Glenwood Landing. Is that correct? Or was that different? That was through the insurance company, so they
Yeah.
The insurance
took care of it.
companies fund the, the
Okay.
They take charge of that.
Okay. Great.
Okay? That's all my old business.
Okay. And I think we will move on to new business.
Sit back and relax. 3 questions. Okay, the first, just warning. So Betty Rosa last week issued a memo talking about this year's Regents and introducing the idea of this special appeal to help with graduation requirements. So I'm curious how the district is responding to that. Are we implementing a do no harm policy? And I'm also curious, in that memo, she had an interesting sort of statement where she said the inclusion of Regents examination scores in the calculation of final course grades is neither required nor recommended. So I'm just curious the district's position on this.
Mr. Doherty, Mr. Contreras, and the director's team and the high school teachers, we've been discussing this. We will certainly honor that appeal process that was put into place, but moreover, we have discussed a no harm policy whereby the usual 20% counting of the Regents in the final average will be included insofar as it helps the student's average. This is a practice that all of our local neighboring schools, including Jericho, Locust Valley, are going forward with as well. Slight differences there. Does always raise a concern when you're a teacher of an academic subject area. Will that encourage students not to take the Regents seriously, the finals seriously? We are, and Mr. Contreras has done a great job of communicating this with teachers, meeting with teachers, which he's continuing to do, and also meeting with students. The grades will still appear on the transcript, but it will have that impact on the average in that unique way. We think that will reduce the need for an appeal.
And so my understanding is this, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the special appeal is available to any student, not just students who have IEPs this year?
Correct. Okay. Any student who scores in that 50 to 64 range on an exam.
Okay. And then another question I had is, as we approach the end of the year, I'm a little bit curious about the history of the middle school final schedule. The students have many days off, shortened, truncated days. I'm just curious the evolution of that, how we got there.
So the schedule that the middle school is following the final 2 weeks is very similar to the schedule in 2019. So it has been a few years. So we do have some final exams. We have the English final exam is actually given on the last day, full day of class, and then they have a regular bell schedule after that. Part of that is there are two regents exams given at the middle school level, the living environment and the algebra regents. Other days are final exams, and then we have days of events. We actually worked through that within the last few days to check our 180 day count. We incidentally had to do that at the high school yesterday too, because New York State canceled the new U.S. History Regents. So in doing that, it was actually a good exercise for me with Miss Imperial to ask some of those questions. And so it is a very similar schedule. We are, going forward, especially with the new middle school principal, and their discussions with the faculty, what we will be, looking at in the future. Personally, I would love to look at opportunities with Dr. Smythe for performance-based assessment, alternative assessment, professional development during some of those days. And if we have our typical 2 conference days during the year, we actually have room for 2 more. But that would all be a conversation, with the faculty and the board, of course.
Because when I was looking at it, there were like 2 issues. The issue of middle schoolers are still young. If parents work, there's a lot of time where they might be unoccupied, or parents would have to take sick days. So that was sort of concerning to me, and it didn't seem very family friendly. And then the other part with how the finals are structured, are there better ways that we can be assessing? Maybe something that was more developmentally appropriate, spread out more over more of those days instead of consecutively. But it sounds like you're thinking about all of these things.
Yes, yeah, and we there right now, and I do think we have to look at it, and I think the faculty is very open to looking at it, especially as we move into hopefully more of a normal school year next year, further away from structural changes in schooling. 6th grade has fewer finals. They have an English and a social studies final, and so
I think that's 4.
7th and 8th. I'm sorry, during finals week. The world language is 7th and 8th grade because they take the FLACS exam, and so but that we want to look at that scaling from 6, 7, and 8 and how that evolves up through the grades.
I have one other question. Does anybody else want to go? No. All right, I'll take it. So I know in your board update, I was very excited to see that you're considering and you're working on a twice exceptional program for our students, and also out of district, to become an out of district placement for other students on Long Island who might be in need of such services. So I was just wondering, and I know you said, but I'm impatient. I know you said more will be coming, but I'm just curious if you could sort of give us a little preview, a little trailer of where you're sort of at now.
So as I said in the board, Graham, also, this was the marriage of 2 great ideas. Mine was the easier one, I'll confess. Chris was the more creative one. But the idea of finding a niche, finding a program where there are students that exist in Nassau County whose schools cannot serve their needs, and offering them an opportunity to attend the North Shore schools on a tuition basis is something I think we need to look at. Some schools have done it very successfully. Some that I've worked in have brought in more than $1 million in a given year. The program they have pays for itself by way of tuition, and then any student there can benefit from it as well. The question is finding that niche, because I'm not the first person to think of this idea, and lots of other superintendents have tried to find those, and some of them do exist. There's some very good life skills programs that exist around the county, and some other special ed programs. But this was one that, as Chris and I were talking about, finding that niche that he landed on, and I'll now turn it over to him for the more creative part of the partnership that we've begun to talk about. And you're right, very formatively.
And and Dr. Dolan noted that whenever we consider, or districts consider programs like these, we want to make sure that it certainly doesn't compromise any of the program that we currently have for our students. And the benefit is that in the raising of the revenue becomes a sustaining program for our students as well, as students who might be able to come from out of district, and also bringing revenue into the district. So this is a niche area that, especially on Long Island, a lot of 2E program, there are very few, if any, in public schools. Certainly see more in New York City. And so we're beginning to look, and I'll be having preliminary conversations with Mr. Marino, Ms. Kissinger, Ms. McKee, as well as we want to touch base with consultants in the field to see, what the structure would look like. Schools that currently offer these programs. And so it is a process that could take some time. We're not sure exactly how much time, but we want to do it the right way. And so we're gonna get going though right away. And I'll have a more formal outline of what it could look like for the next board update.
So are you thinking about for the upcoming school year, or it would be like a year out?
We always we want to balance that with carefully and with moving expeditiously.
Yeah.
And so as soon as we're able to, we would
Okay.
start that program with the support of the board.
So I was so happy to read this because it is a niche. There are no programs on Long Island for these students, and there are many students who fall into these category and slip through the cracks in their own school districts. This is the type of program that families will move their children into this district for, because there is nothing out there for them. And I think it's so important that we think about what the inclusion criteria is, what the exclusion criteria is, and when it starts. One of the issues with 2E kids is around fourth grade, they start to sort of decompensate. And I really think the earlier that we're able to address this, and I don't have the answer to what that should be, but sixth grade, seventh grade, the more you're able to protect them moving forward than trying to mitigate some of the damage that's occurred earlier. And I'm so proud that our district is even considering doing this. So I can't wait to hear more next meeting.
Well, thank you for your support.
Thank you, Dr. McCary, and thank you, Dr. Zublionis. Other new business? All right, at this point, instead of adjourning, unfortunately, I would like to make a motion. The board convenes an executive session to consider matters leading to, pursuant to the Article 14 of the Civil Service Law, the Taylor Law. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And is there a second? Any questions or comments to finish up some business we had in our original executive session that we had to cut short with the big audience today? Okay, all in favor of going into executive session? Thank you. So that's that. We will have to get somewhere quickly or relatively, because this is not going to take too long.